Let's talk about how conditions are being used in if statements. We'll go over formal definition, how we do this in Python and in the shell. So formally, you can define an if statement with the keyword if, and then there's some condition in brackets that is followed by a statement, and optionally, there's the keyword else and another statement. And remember that a statement can be a statement list too. So, we have a test for condition and at least one branch that we can execute if that condition is true. If that condition is false, we either do nothing or we execute the alternative branch, which is here captured in the else statement. In Python, the syntax looks like this, that you have if as the keyword, and then you have some condition that's being tested, and you have the colon that follows the condition. And then we have our statement, and then optionally, we have the elif keyword followed by a condition. So that is else if, and we can test for another condition and statement. We can have many of these elif conditions tested. So if you have very complex decision-making branches, you could do it like that. And optionally, you can either end all of this long branch with an else statement, or you can leave the elif conditions out and just have if, else, and then a statement. But again, the else, like everything below the first statement here, is optional, so it doesn't have to be there. But remember, the colons are part of the syntax. They're critically important. Python is not going to execute the program that you're writing without these colons. So below here, there's an example. We import a package that's called datetime because it implements how we are getting to dates very, very nicely. Here's an example. I want the day of the week. Starts with Monday is 0, Sunday is 6. So I use the package datetime. I ask for today's date, and please return that as the weekday. And so I get an integer between 0 and 6 here. And then I can test. If day is 2, there's a new package that is being released. So that would be Wednesdays, right? Monday is 0, Tuesday is 1, Wednesday is 2. If the day is 5 or 6, we just print that it is the weekend. We'll not deal with this. And if it's any other day of the week, we have other work to do than working through the new package for this course. So you can see here, first of all, we're using one if statement or with one condition. We're testing for equality. Note that equality testing in Python requires 2 equal signs. And we terminate the condition with the colon here. We need to indent by a certain number of spaces that should be the same throughout each of these if statements. We simply issue a print statement here, and then we test for another condition, right? Which is a little bit more complex because it actually checks for 2 things. Now, whether day is Saturday or Sunday, and in that case, we are in the weekend, again, terminated by the colon here. And then there's an overarching else that is going to be used if day is 0, 1, or 4, and 3. Forgot about the 3. Great. Let's look at something similar in the shell. All my examples use the TC shell. The syntax is actually different for different kinds of shells, but it's easily looked up on the internet. So here we have the if keyword with parentheses in which we find a condition. which then is followed by the by then part of the if keyword. It's basically replacing the colon in Python, and that is followed by a statement. Then there's optionally the else and a statement, so the alternative branch, and then everything's terminated by end if. Now, why isn't there something like an end if in Python? Because the way the syntax is set up, it requires you to indent your statements after an if or else whenever you enter these branches. And so the next line here would be not indented, and that would indicate to the interpreter that you're outside of the if statement. If you indent it, then everything that's still indented down here is going to be part of that else branch, which is a common source for misunderstandings and errors. I went over that in a prior video. Cool. So shell, back to the shell. Let's get at the day of the week. Again, the shell has a date program that we can get at, what is the 3-character abbreviation for the weekday through something like that, which we'll look into later when we go into the command line programs. For now, just know that day is either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And 3-letter abbreviations. So here now we can test for, right? We dereference the contents of the variable day with this $sign here. So if day contains Wednesday, the string Wednesday, then we print to the command line that there's a new package that is released. It's great. Otherwise, we can issue a new if statement, right? So there's an elif in the TC shell. So else if we have the day being Saturday or Sunday, and this backslash here is just a line break to make things work properly. You could have the day equal Sunday on the same line, but it wouldn't work in the formatting that I choose here. So if it's Saturday or Sunday, then echo weekend, right? Which is the same as over here on line 18 in the Python code. Else, we're dealing with other stuff. We are terminating this if-else statement and then this if-else statement, right? And you can test those examples. They're available in GitHub, and execute them and play with the different day numbers and see what's coming out of this.